Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a breathing coach, yoga instructor, and physiologist. And today I want to talk to you about improving your lung capacity. So a lot of us are not utilizing our lungs the best we can throughout the day, even in exercise. And it's really important because recent research that has been conducted over many years has shown us that one of the best indicators for lifespan, how long you're going to live, is your lung capacity. So, if you want to live longer, you better start breathing better, and I'm here to help you with that today. All right, I want to teach you a few things that I think you can implement immediately. You can first breathe through your nose. So, the nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating. I know it sounds silly, I use it with my kids, but it's true though, because in our nose, when the breath comes in through our nose, we have this nasal passageway, it's like a maze in there where it's going to filter the air that comes in. So you're not going to get all the toxins, all the nasty things in the environment or some environments that come in. Our nose is going to filter that. You would get sick less, right? If you're not pulling in all of those things. So it's important that we breathe in through our nose for filtration. It's also important we breathe in through our nose for the temperature. So when you breathe in through the nose, it's going to warm and humidify, moisten that air so it's better received in the body. So that's super cool too. We got filtration, we got, temperature control. The breath is a little cooler on the inhale. It needs to be a little warmer when it's in our body. If you're just sucking air in through your mouth, you're missing those two things, but you're also missing nitric oxide. So nitric oxide is in our paranasal cavity, and we breathe through the nose, we get that. And nitric oxide is a vasodilator, so it widens the blood vessels. This helps in our body getting more oxygen circulating throughout the body. Your body needs that oxygen to function, for muscle contraction, for heart health, for brain. Your brain uses about 20% of your total oxygen intake. If you're not pulling it in through your nose and getting the most out of that, then you're missing out. You could have brain fog. You could feel weak and tired in your muscles. So there's a lot to it. And I think a lot of people think that they're not mouth breathing. They're like, I'm not mouth breathing. I was one of those people, and I had been teaching yoga for 10 years before I came to this stuff. So trust me, you can, even now when I lecture, I fall into a breathing pattern where I'm breathing out of my mouth. If you watch me, it's hard to do a lecture when you're not thinking about it to be breathing throughout your nose. It is a practice. So take it. The first thing I would tell you to do is start to create some awareness. If you're one of those people that you're like, I don't mouth breathe, this isn't for me, you probably do. So just check yourself. And so if we can start to use it when we're exercising, that's where I like to use it, when I'm walking, when I'm riding a bike, when I'm doing basic strength training. Unless I'm going to a super high intensity all out, I don't think I need to be panting and breathing at that high rate out of the mouth. So start to use it when you're exercising. Start to use it when you're cooking, when you're driving, when you're talking with your children, when you're having a conversation with a loved one. Slow down and start to breathe through your nose. And I think you will start, even just if that's all you hear today, that is a great place to start. When you breathe from your nose, you're more likely to be using your diaphragm. So it's an awesome place to start. But if you want to take it further, let's go further. The pattern of your breathing is super important. So next we're going to talk about 360-degree breathing pattern. I like to kind of fuse this a little bit with my yoga practice, what I was taught about yoga breathing. I think they can go together. So we'll start with yoga breathing, and then I'll talk to you about 360-degree breathing. In yoga breathing, you inhale, you fill the belly up, which means that the diaphragm's moving, because the diaphragm is a muscle that's right underneath the lungs. It's attached to the lungs, the QL in the back, the quadratum laborum, and the psoas that runs around the front of the leg, connecting the top to the bottom. So it's really important muscle right there. And it's our breathing, it's our respiration muscle. It's a dome. When you inhale, it flattens out, which expands the rib cage. So when you use your nose, you're more likely to be using your diaphragm. When you use your mouth, you're more likely to be breathing from your chest or from your neck and shoulders, and then these accessory muscles. That will cause pain and tension and those types of things. So breathe from your nose. Breathe in, you will feel the belly expand, and in yoga they say most of the breath comes into the belly, a little bit will come into the ribs next, so it comes up, ribs, and then a little chest rise at the very end. It's a 3-part breath. So they would say like 4 seconds into the belly, 2 seconds into the ribs, and 1 into the chest, and then slowly exhale at a longer pace than you inhale. And that's a yoga breath, especially one of the relaxation ones. Not ujjayi breath, yoga breathing. Dirgha Swasam is what it's called in yoga. So 3-part breath, I think, is super important. I do feel that, let me think how I'm going to say this. I do feel that it focuses too much on the belly, and it does not really focus a lot on opening up laterally. And we hardly ever talked about breathing into the low back. So that's why I like, more recently, 360-degree breathing. 3-part yoga breath, great, wonderful, but I think there's some things that are missing there. So with the 360-degree breathing pattern, I want you to think of it almost like blowing up a balloon. It inhales, the rib cage, the belly, the sides, and the back come out. Everything comes out in a 360-degree pattern. And then when you exhale, everything draws back in. Even here, the pelvic floor would even open up, stretch on the inhale. So it's like everything opens up. The ribs, the belly, the back, the pelvic floor, the chest, everything's opening up from here to here. And then everything closes. If you have not been breathing in this pattern, it's going to be like a little bit difficult to work on, but it will become a habit the more and more you practice on it. Because if you've been breathing in a reverse pattern, like so many people, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, suck in, shoulders up, exhale. If you breathe, if you take 3 deep breaths right now, and that's the pattern you go into, you go up instead of out, then that first is going to cause your body to be in that fight or flight. It's going to create more stress within the body and in the mind. And so if we can come into the belly, into the diaphragm on our inhalation, belly, back, sides, pelvic floor, everything opens up. And then the exhale, it all pulls in. That's gonna it's gonna stimulate the vagus nerve, which helps us be in the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, relaxation state. So this is good practice to come to throughout the day, especially if you're finding that you have a lot of stress, anxiety, you're really hungry for air, like all those things. I want you to come to your breath, the inhalation, and work on that. And the final thing is slow down your breathing. I like to work at least throughout the day, 4-second inhalation followed by a 4-second exhalation with slight pauses at the top. And I try to make that my go-to breathing pattern. If I'm feeling really stressed, then I'm going to breathe in for 4, 360 degrees, and out for 8 seconds. And that's going to help me relax even more, elongating that exhale. Just try those things. It's nasal breathing, it's 360-degree breathing, and it's slowing down the breath, because most of us are probably even breathing too much throughout the day, too quickly. I know when I started, I was breathing about 19 breaths a minute, which is super fast. I was really, really anxious at that time in my life. And so I try to get my breathing in between 8 and 12 breaths a minute throughout the day. You can just test this by putting a stopwatch on for 1 minute and counting your inhale, exhale. That's 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. And so just try to be as honest as you can in that breathing test, because it's just, you're just testing for yourself. So you might as well be as honest as you can and try not to make the breaths super long. Try to make them look like the breaths you're really breathing throughout the day. So that's just a good place to start. Hopefully that will help you start to build your lung capacity throughout the day and by just your habits, which is super cool. So you don't even have to take any extra time if you don't want to. Just start to work on those habits. Your breath is with you throughout the day, and so you can just, tap in anytime you need to, check in, see if you're breathing from your mouth, see if you can do the expansion breath. A couple rounds will really go a long way in starting to retrain this breathing pattern. If that was helpful, yay! I enjoy being here, and so I hope that I was able to help you today. Have a great day and breathe well, my friends. See ya.